Hello, and welcome to the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. My name is Dean Jackson, and today we're talking with Rebecca from San Diego, who helps financial advisors with their marketing, their branding, their content strategies. And we had a really great conversation about all of the tools that they're able to help people with and some of the strategies that they can apply right now to increase the number of people that they can help. We got to the bottom of it. We found out that the thing that's going to make the biggest impact for Rebecca right now is working on some Profit Activator 2 lead opportunities that are going to get her in conversation. And then in Profit Activator 3 to start increasing the frequency that they're adding value, and always using that as an opportunity to present people with their super signature and offer them some delicious cookies. So it was a really fun conversation. Rebecca is very enthusiastic, and I love talking with people who love marketing. So I think you're going to enjoy this episode. Here we go. Rebecca.
Hi, Dean. How are you?
I am so good. How are you?
I am good. Thanks so much for talking with me today. I'm super excited about this.
I am too. So where are you calling from?
I am from sunny San Diego today.
Oh, love it. Okay, cool. Are you right in San Diego, or are you in county somewhere?
We are downtown San Diego.
Nice.
For 4 years, we were in the heart of the Gaslamp district.
Oh, nice.
And last week, we moved locations, and so now we're up on Broadway with all the rest of the more corporate offices.
Wow, look at you, moving on up.
Well, my team's really excited because the lunch options around Broadway are more exciting than some of the lunch options that were in our former area.
Oh,
more
awesome.
taco stands to try out.
Okay, perfect. And food trucks everywhere, right? I love it.
Exactly.
Well, so we've got the whole hour here to hatch whatever kind of evil schemes we want to talk about. So I always like to start out. I want to hear the Rebecca story and where we're at so far and where you'd like to focus.
Excellent. Okay. First off, can you hear me okay?
Yes, hear you perfectly. Thank you.
Okay. If at any point these earbuds cut in or out, just let me know and I can switch over to the receiver.
Okay.
So let me kind of share with you some of the background of our company. We're called 401k Marketing, and we're a niche branding and marketing agency specifically for the financial services industry.
Okay.
So what that means is within financial services, there are different financial advisors that focus and specialize on different niches. It's kind of like a doctor. Some doctors, if you think of them, they're specialists on ears, nose, and throat. Some of them do your elbows and your knees. Well, in financial services, some advisors focus on estate planning, college savings, divorce, and others, our clients, focus on corporate retirement.
Okay. I like it.
And about 4 years ago, a little over that, I started our firm after working in the financial services field for about 10 years. And I noticed that the clients I was working with at my previous company, when I asked them, Dean, what do you do for marketing?
And what did they say?
They looked at me, they shrugged their shoulders, and they said, nothing. And over time, that little tiny light bulb of entrepreneurial started to grow brighter and brighter. And then I changed my question, and I said, what would you like to do for marketing?
That's a good lesson right there. The better question gets a better answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that question then started a series of notes and beta tests and study groups. And for about a year, I basically just asked that question and wrote notes and notes. And then I would ask that question across other advisors who are coming up with similar problems or hiccups or hurdles within their business. And then to steal one of your isms, we came up with schemes to solve for those problems.
I love it. So what, and how long has this been going now?
So 401k marketing, we have been working with our clients for about 4.5 years now, rounding the corner to 5.
Okay, perfect. And so what's the thing that you help them do? What is it that they are coming to you? We didn't get to hear what they said when you asked them, what would you like to do for marketing? Did they have a better answer for you?
I think this is a really interesting time that we live in today when it comes to marketing. A lot of times when people think of marketing, especially in more established type of organizations or industries, the mind immediately goes to cold calling. It goes to that. Like, you got to be working hard in order for this to be working. And right from the beginning when we started, we said, we're not doing cold calling.
Right.
Not part of our philosophy. We're not doing it. And so what we do for our clients now is we have 2 sides of our business. The first side is the agency side, where everything we do is custom to that unique organization, so marketing strategy, brand development, and then some of those scopes of work include websites, digital campaigns, landing pages, retargeting, ghostwriting blog articles, social media integration, infographics, videos, the gamut. And it's all specific and custom and unique to those clients.
Okay.
And then on the other side of our business,
so kind of as a creative agency in a way, right? Like you're helping them with all the creative. Okay.
Yes. And then on the other side of our business, the subscription side, this is where we provide content, it's content marketing for advisors, and that includes a calendar on how to implement step-by-step instructions, monthly blog articles that are specific to the plan sponsor, the decision makers within a retirement plan. And so you asked what are some of the pieces that we've created. Well, before, there really wasn't a writer or series of content that spoke to employers about the troubles they were going through when offering a 401k plan or a company-sponsored plan. And so our content solves that niche with little short explainer videos, 60 to 90 seconds, email campaigns, social media, infographics. Hey, what's a plan loan? What's a 401k plan loan? What are some best savings ideas on working towards longer financial goals? And other different ways across the buying spectrum that our clients can get in front of those people and start to, I almost want to say, start to help them organize their company's plan, but most importantly, improve it so that way their employees can actually reach towards retirement and have a goal and are working towards a better financial future.
Right. So are you helping them integrate all of those and create a result, or are you helping them support the things that they're already kind of doing, like in the education part?
I suppose it depends on which client. So some of our clients have robust marketing offerings already.
Okay.
They have a set service model, and other ones are more conversational, and we act more in a coaching capacity.
Okay. And so I guess what I'm looking for is kind of the result that you're helping them to create. How do they, like, what's the dream come true for them?
Oh my goodness. When we started this, you have the internally, marketing works. You kind of feel like you're comfortable in your gut that marketing works, but you only realize it when you hear it from your client. And I was talking with, so 3 immediate things happen for pretty much all of our clients, and then the 4th one I recently learned. The first one is that the amount of inbound referrals that our clients receive doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Their time that it takes to close more business, which on average in our businesses on the 401k side is a 14-month sales cycle, goes down by half. So from handshake to business contract signing is about 7 months now.
Uh-huh.
Their close ratio almost doubled. So if they had a 20% close ratio, now it's 40%, just insane to me. And then the fourth attribute that I learned in talking with some of our clients was, and I thought this was really cool, they said, we just feel better.
That's an interesting thing, Yeah. I've often, when I've had people in the design world on the podcast, what I've always been an advocate for them doing is creating some way of establishing kind of a return on design. That would be the thing, because you just said it yourself, that people kind of intuitively know that it works, design, and that's I think what you're talking about is your on the design side of marketing in a way. From what I've read of what you have shared with me, and there was a study that was just done by McKinsey Consulting, and they're have a big reputation for real data-driven things, and they did a very in-depth study on design and how it affects revenue and profitability, the whole thing. And what they found was that companies that are design-led, as they called it, did 30-something% more revenue, like 36% more revenue, and generated 50+% more profit to shareholders. And so it's kind of an interesting thing that compared to their non-design led peers, right? Their peer group of companies that were similar in similar industries and similar, kind of client sets. And that's an exciting thing to see, that a company like McKinsey, who's really got a bottom line kind of management and metrics approach to stuff, has come out and now put some numbers on something that we sort of intuitively know, right? We intuitively know that good-looking people have an advantage over less good-looking people in sales and in everything, right? It's just we see that happen, and we see that really nice design makes a difference. So I think it's really, the important thing is to figure out how to convey that messaging to people in a way that correlates to the things you're able to help them do. Like, I think those numbers that you were sharing, where their referrals go up and their closing rate goes up and their time to close goes down, all that stuff is valuable, especially if you can establish a metric that is there to prove it. I think that,
I love it.
yeah, because that becomes a really, when you've got case studies and infographics and, all of those things. I do a lot of stuff in the real estate world, and one of the most, powerful things I have is a 5-year case study infographic that shows the ROI on doing one of our programs, our Getting Listings program, and it shows the cumulative spend of how much he spent each month for the 60 months of the test and how much cumulative commissions he earned and when he earned them all along the way, with trailing lines that show when people actually responded to his postcard. So it could be,
Fascinating.
yeah, it shows the longevity, right? It shows the gestation period of people. And it was really funny because September of 2018 was the 5-year mark. And in 2018, he had closed transactions with people who responded from 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So the long-term value of that, of maintaining that prospect pool. Mm-hmm. So I think those kind of things would be very helpful for your stuff, for how you are presenting that information to your prospects. But tell me about your marketing now. So what do you do to get new people?
Let's see. For our own internal marketing, we do a kind of, I guess, I don't know if it's a decent amount, but I feel like we're pretty active in the marketing space. We have an email list of around 3,500 qualified prospects, clients, and centers of influence.
Okay.
We send
How
out
did they?
weekly email.
How did you get them?
It's a combination. I do a lot of events and speak at a lot of events. So business cards, social media integration, organic traffic from our website, opt-ins.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so they're all, that's your list, and you email them once a week, you said?
Yep, every week, and it's some type of value add piece, blog, an infographic, something that we know that could help them from a business development standpoint.
Okay. And
we do.
And do you make offers on there? Do you how does it how does that turn into new clients for you? What do you do with the emails?
Well, I've been listening to your podcast now, and every time we get to the super signature part, I think my palm goes directly against my forehead, and I go, "What are you doing? Doing that?" So, thank you for that brilliant idea. We will be implementing that. Probably starting this next week is going to happen.
I like it.
We did not do that today.
Okay.
So super signatures coming soon, not just in the weekly email, but across all of the teams. So we have our respective, hey, you talked about this here.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so at least you're familiar with it. That's good. At least you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
coming soon.
Okay.
We post daily on social media. And when I say social media, I mean LinkedIn and Twitter. For our clients, it's the business-to-business world. So we haven't migrated into Facebook or Instagram. We have talked about those internally, and we just haven't. We stay more pure in the traditionalist way and just on those two business platforms at this time.
Gotcha. So when you do get new clients, how does it typically happen then? How do let's take your email, for example, that you're sending out every week. Do people just, are you making offers to people on there aside from the super signature that's coming soon? Or is it you're just sending content, and if you've got any questions or anything we can help you with, give us a call, or we're here to help, or stuff like that, being available to them?
It's the second option. It's just the availability at the moment.
Okay.
We'll change that.
Well, and that's fine. I mean, the part of it is it's like it's hospitality is what it is in a way. And They're not coming for you, are they?
They found me.
They found you.
It's our new
Fun.
Broadway office. We got sights and sounds of downtown.
Oh, that's so funny. So the I often say to people, like, in describing why we do this super signature, the way we do it is, imagine if I brought you into my home and I sat you in the living room and I said, hey, Rebecca, I'm really happy you're here. If there's anything you want to eat or drink, there's lots of stuff in the fridge. Go ahead and help yourself. And I would really sincerely hope that you would feel comfortable enough to do that. And I don't really know you, but just in talking with you and the interactions that we've had, I would feel like if you brought me to your house and you said the same thing, that you would sincerely mean that you would want me to feel home and to be able to help myself. Yeah. But here's the thing, is that neither of our mothers would ever allow us to do something like that. We would never impose on somebody, right? Because even if they said that, nobody will go and help themselves in somebody's fridge, right? It's awkward and it's uncomfortable because we've been brought up to not impose on people, right? And it's more likely that we don't want anybody to go out of their way for us. So even if I said, would you like a coffee? You might say, are you having one? Because if you're having one, I'll have one, but don't boil the kettle for me.
No, I'm all set.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we know that's true, that the best thing to do is if I sat you down in the living room and I went in to the kitchen and I came out with a freshly baked plate of cookies and I came right up to you and I said, would you like a cookie? Now, it would be very difficult for you not to take the cookie because I've clearly made the cookies. I've got the cookies right there. I'm standing there with the plate, and it would be awkward for you to refuse them in a way. Right? So you do that, and it's just it's an automatic reaction. It's something there, because especially if you like cookies, and I've got these fresh baked cookies, you're going to really be excited about that. And I know that if I give you the cookie, then in a couple of minutes when I come back out with the milk, you're probably going to be excited to have the milk as well, right? So I know that it's starting this path, but you would never in a million years, if I sat you in the living room and said, is there anything I can get for you? You would never say, you know what? Would you bake me some cookies? That would be super right now. You'd never want to impose on anybody to do that. But it sounds super exaggerated, but that's what we're expecting our clients to do, our prospects to do. We're saying to them, we're sending them information, we're just being hospitable, sending them something valuable, and then we might say, if there's anything we can help you with, please feel free to reach out or to email us. We're more than happy to help or answer any questions you have, trying to be of service to people. But what it's really doing, Rebecca, like below the surface, what it's really doing is it is pushing the responsibility for taking the initiative onto them. Because if we don't take the initiative, there's no way to be rejected, right? But if we're waiting for them to ask a question so we can jump to service, we can jump in to serve them, that's safer. And so this is all happening below the surface in every human, that's why we call it's no difference in B2B marketing or B2C. It's all H to H, human to human. We all have the same brain and we're all wired the same way. And our mothers all brought us up the same way to be, don't impose on people and, be polite and all that stuff that deep down we're societally wired to conform to that. So knowing that, the best thing that we can do is to really make it easy for people to take the first step, you know? So when you look at it, it's a very different dynamic with if me offering you the cookie that's already baked, because you're going to accept it, of course, right? Because you want it and it's right there. Now,
Yeah,
what we
smell good.
yeah, what we try and do is anticipate. We try and create these cookies that we're going to serve on the platter of our email that goes out every week. Our super signature is going to have those cookies right there that
Mm-hmm.
are going to be delicious to them, right? So you start to think, what would they really want if they were going to uh, take some action here, if they were going to respond, what would be the thing that would get them to respond? What would be the easy thing for them to do? Now, that's kind of a exercise in thinking through where would be kind of a move forward. I always use a real estate examples where,
Hmm.
if you came to my website as a home buyer and you opted in to search all the homes and do all of that, and we've got your email address, then every week when we send you out the updates of all the new listings, we're going to say in the super signature, plus whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways we can help you. Now, I know that if somebody's looking for a home, there's going to be kind of 3 main tracks that they might go on. They might want to learn all about the process first because they don't know how to buy a home yet. So, or they might want to just get out and start looking at homes. That would be one group of people. And there might be another group who they want to get all their money ducks in a row first, right? They want to know how much they can
Hmm.
afford and all of that. So those are the 3 basic drivers that are going to move somebody forward. So we start to think, well, how can we address those? If somebody wants to go look at homes, rather than have them have to take the initiative and ask me to start showing them homes, what if we sent out an email, or in our super signature, we said, join us for a daily tour of homes. We do home tours every day at 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Now, that feels like, oh, it's already I've already boiled the kettle. It doesn't
Oh.
feel like I'm asking somebody to go out of their way for me, right? I can jump on this tour, and it sets the context. It gets them thinking that they can go at 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So basically we're saying morning or afternoon, and it's not that we're looking to have a group tour of people. We're just making it out there that if you want to look at homes, 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock, we give people choices. That feels like it's already earmarked. Like that time's already earmarked. Uh, they're not asking anybody to go out of their way for them. And that's an easy thing for them to respond to. Now, if they want to get educated about the process, then what would be a cookie that would get them excited or get them to take action? And so we may say, uh, join us for a homebuyer workshop. We do homebuyer workshops on the first Thursday of every month at the library, and we go through the entire home buying process. That would be a cookie that we can offer. Or we said that they may want to get their money right. So we'd say, get a free home loan report. And every month we monitor hundreds of different loan programs to find the best zero down programs, the best low interest loans, the best total interest loans. And we put all our findings together in a custom home loan report. And if we're saying to those 3 things, we're addressing the 3 biggest triggers that are going to move somebody forward, we've got a way for them to let us know that they're ready, kind of thing. And there's something interesting and powerful about starting it out whenever you're ready. Because whenever you're ready is a responsibility word. It's like, I'm here. We're ready to help you at any time right now. You've seen it. We're standing by. But the only thing standing in the way of you getting what you really want is you being ready. So whenever you're ready, here's what we have for you. I'm not trying to foist these things on you or to, convince you to do any of these things. It's your responsibility. You get to take the complete ownership of this.
Oh, I love this. I love it.
So let's work it for you. What is that? How does that land for you? What are you hearing?
Oh, this is great. So here are 3 ways we can help you. Brand awareness, thought leadership, attract new clients, and join us on 2 different dates and times for a 100 points of marketing workshop. That'll give you a custom marketing plan for your unique business.
That's good. Okay.
We did a workshop last year that it's 55 minutes runtime. And it comes with this, it's about a 16-page workbook. And from the beginning of the presentation to the end of the presentation, every person sitting in that room goes through a marketing assessment. They go and they score themselves. So it's called 100 points of marketing, and there's literally 100 points, and we give them a score at the end. And then it gives them a diagnostic of where their business is today, where they want to go, and then an action plan. So every single person, regardless of where your business is now, they walk out with a marketing plan that's specific and unique to their retirement plan practice. That presentation took me like 6 months to create and no sleep at all.
Right.
And so I think this could be our call to action. And it helps them because it identifies any weak points in their business. And based on what we've created, we hopefully, fingers crossed if we're doing this right, should have some type of solution or partner that we can refer them to that can provide the solution to whatever that soft spot is.
Right. Good for you. So that's a good idea there. Then, the other thing is you might want to pull out your scorecard where that might be a way of, getting people initially to take action, right? Like you've got to think about it, that what happens from, like if we go from the end backwards, if somebody comes to your 100 points of marketing workshop, what ends up, where do they go from there, and how does that play out for you? What do they do? Like how did that work out for you right now? Did they?
Well, it usually leads to a phone call with one of our teammates, and they walk through the worksheet with them. Each section, there's a maximum score, and we always say that marketing builds on marketing. So just like when you were in school, you didn't go into your first day of school and you're in college. No, you went to school and then middle school and high school and so on. So the same thing works with marketing. Start with your foundation, make it as strong as possible through your brand, and then continue your trajectory upwards. And so my team normally will talk about, okay, well, how'd you score on the basic section? How'd you score on intermediary? How'd you score on advanced? And how'd you score on expert? And then they walk them through, okay, well, based on branding, for example, do you have brand guidelines? Do you have standards around that? Well, let's talk about how you can, I think we have, I know we have a worksheet that can help professionalize brand guidelines internally. We also do that as an agency side, but we try and assess based on the client what makes sense based on their business, and we always try and be helpful. So if they're an agency client, we'll walk them through it on the agency side, how to professionally do that. And if they're more of a subscription-based client, we give them the tools and resources so that way they can do it, and we provide guidance and coaching, but we don't actually take the reins in that engagement.
Okay. So, yeah, I get it. Is there another kind of tool or cookie that you could think of that would be a suitable kind of thing as well that you could package up here?
Yeah, this is something that we're in development with right now. It's based on our clients and their various conversations. I think in terms of our business model, we might have put a cart before the horse. So we created content marketing. And in order to do content marketing really well, you need to have a pretty solid brand to begin with, or at least the elements and foundation of a brand. So in talking with a lot of our clients who said, I need help with our website, I need help with business cards, stationery, brochures, PowerPoint presentations,
Yeah.
but their budgets aren't quite the budgets that would be necessary for the agency side. So right now, my team and I, since October, have been workshopping and putting together the business units that we need, the plans, the process, and the procedures, so we can offer that on a subscription-based model. So we'll create the advisors. We'll walk the advisor through a series of questionnaires we already have them, we'll kind of beta test them as we speak, to understand their voice, their brand, their palette. And then we have 6 different options for website motifs, brochures, PowerPoints, and then a little bit of the copy is, we've already fixed the copy, but it's flexible in terms of the plug-and-play nature that our clients can use it. So it's going to be different based on the client, but the copy internally, the way that the mechanics work, we've templated it. So should internally have a pretty tightened process around making sure that when our clients onboard, from start to finish, we've got a production calendar. So long-winded way of saying that's the middle that I think we might have skipped over before, because we went straight to content and we didn't focus on brand. So that could be that second carrot or cookie to get them as a client.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you're creating a roadmap, or you're creating a blueprint, or you're creating something that would that you can overlay on their business, and they can easily kind of see where they are and what they need, that would be a very useful thing for you, you know? Like I would think one of the things that's really great for us is our Profit Activator scorecard. And so when people go to profitactivatorscore.com, well, you did the scorecard, and you get a chance to kind of see that often there's insight in just even considering where you are on each of the elements in the scorecard, and that sometimes that awareness is an insight of it on its own. But more importantly, what it does is it gives you the opportunity to know where somebody's self-assessed need is. You know, you can see where they have a desire to be a higher number than they are right now. That gives you a chance to start the conversation with that, especially if it's something that you can help people with, which it should be, because you're the one creating the scorecard, right? So the whole thing is to support the helping somebody identify their need for the things that you can help them with.
Dean, I loved that scorecard. Going through it, I haven't thought about those questions in years. And
Right.
I actually responded on some of them. I was like, that was fun. I've never written this out before. And I emailed my team a bunch of times, and I asked them, how many inbound leads do we have? What are we spending on LinkedIn ads? What are we spending on Google ads? And not just, ballpark numbers that I know from the accounting side of the biz, but the actual tangibles.
Yes.
And then I asked, I knew our open rate on our emails was, about 15%. I wanted confirmation on that. And I got the whole team talking about it. And now we've got this new kind of excitement going into this podcast and coming soon. I'm going to go through, which I'm super excited about, Dan Sullivan's coaching program. And as a team, we're all going through this journey together, and we're talking about it. And so if anyone who's listening hasn't gone through the Profit Activator's workbook, I wholeheartedly recommend it because it is a self-assessment. And then you learn, these are my own weaknesses and my own soft spots in the business.
Yes.
I got really fired up and inspired afterwards. And this is,
that's great.
This is a brilliant conversation. Your insight. So thank you.
And you start to see that's like you start to recognize and get good at interpreting the scorecards. And I notice for us, the patterns that are the people that we can help the most are people who are strong on Profit Activator 1. They know who they want to attract. They are strong in Profit Activator 5, where they can deliver the dream come true results for people. And they are weaker in generating leads, in educating and motivating, and making offers, right? So that they need to bridge that marketing gap between we know who we want, and if we can just find them, we get great results for them. And that sounds like, that's exactly what you're describing to me. Is like you're 100% confident that you're going to get great results for people. And it's just, if people just knew about you, that's really where we can have the biggest impact. And then, of course, the, after sale and the referrals are always an eye opener for people that they're not probably maximizing the opportunity there. So it's very helpful because then it forms the basis for the conversation about, where you can ask somebody, what are you doing for lead generation right now? And that is going to sound like you've tapped into exactly what they need, because they're going to say, oh, that's our biggest struggle, or that I'm glad you asked about that. Here's what we're doing. Or especially if you can help them solve that problem. If you can solve that for them, they're going to be very open and receptive to that.
Love it. Yeah. So one of the questions I had going into this conversation with you was, I mentioned earlier how we have a subscription side to our business.
Yeah.
And on the subscription side, you did a podcast with Joe Polish on a yoga studio.
Yeah.
And as I was listening to it, and you talked about how a yoga studio, once the class is over, the profit of that class is done. It's gone. It's a perishable item. It's time it disappeared. And every quarter, my team and I work very hard to create brand new content. Every quarter, we refresh our content, so it's always timely, relevant, and what's happening today. So any past materials, well, they have somewhat of a shelf life. They're really not, they're not a maximizer anymore. It's kind of an old hat. So what I was hoping to garner some wisdom from you is, how do we, our average sales cycle today is 6 months. So our pipeline is 6 months. How can we use marketing and maybe some evil schemes to get people faster into the subscription model and implement it, most importantly, to impact their business? How do we chip away at that 6 month hurdle maybe down to 3 months, or in an ideal world, probably closer to a month. So what are some of your ideas on how you get folks off the block?
Well, first of all, you're saying that it takes people 6 months to warm up to the idea to get to where they realize that they need that, right? So that means that they are, at that point, they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they decide that, okay, this is the right thing. And so we're wondering how to speed that up. Well, one of the things that I would say is, let's focus on solving that 6 months from now by getting more people in right now up front, right? Like 6 months is not a long time for people to gestate, right? So what we want to look at is the volume of it. If you had more people, we could solve it in 6 months. If you were to all of a sudden generate 3 times as many leads as you typically generate in a month right now, that 6 months from now, you would have 3 times as many people reaching the point of being open to trying your subscription model, right? So that's like setting the cap on it there. First of all, that's a great opportunity. And that really is what I would say is like the first job of it, right? Is just getting clear on how can we get more people in the world like that, more people into our situation. And they're going to be a better fit, because often it takes a little while. I've been saying how we all kind of look at this know you, like you, trust you as what the destination is. And we kind of read it, though, as one thing: know you, like you, trust you. Like that's the definition. But the reality is that it's a progression, that they know you. To go from not knowing you to knowing you is a big jump. And then as they start to see what you're about, like certainly one way that you could speed up that process is to mail 3 times a week instead of once a week. Because if you truly are adding value each time, that you would be a welcome, it would be a welcome email, and you are, speeding up the process, with which they get to know you and to like you. And because each time you resonate with something that is the way they think about it, that they go, oh, I like her. I like this company. I like them. And the like is a very interesting thing, because what it really means is that it's agreement. They're like me. I like them because they're like me. They're similar to me. I agree with what they're saying. And that is really, you're getting that on there. They start to see the consistency of it. You're demonstrating that you are consistent, and that you are not pushy. And they're seeing through the case studies and the content testimonials that you're sending that you are valuable, and they start to trust you as an authority. And do you have a podcast?
Funny you should mention that. We do not have a podcast at this time. We're the 3 things, I guess, we're working on, which will be up by March. Number one, we've had about 4-ish years of blog posts. Every month we do a blog. And we're thinking of now in our new space, we're going to do a video. We're thinking about having a video, buying video equipment, and having a blog. So turning that blog into a video blog. Blogs. So that was one. Posting.
Well,
them,
that
of course,
could be
on social
another
media,
thing.
on our
That could
website,
be
on
one of
YouTube.
your emails. So one of your emails could be your regular email that you're sending. One could be a weekly, a weekly video that you send that could be short and educational and valuable. And because I think, your just even talking to you, your personality is too you can't contain that. You shouldn't be containing it in just an email. People need to experience it more. You sound like your default setting is happy, and you're very enthusiastic. And that's, I think, going to come through in either a podcast or video form so that people like you because you're likable.
Thank you. That was so nice of you. I really appreciate it. I'm smiling now. So we're going to do a video series that hopefully I got to get the logistics around that, but video series, and then actually listening to Joe Polish podcast. I was thinking, why don't we do a podcast? And then I reached out to some of my super smart industry friends and said, hey, we're thinking about doing a podcast. Do you want to be a guest speaker? And my industry friends were like, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
so we're
of
working on
course.
the editorial calendar for the podcast and the editorial calendar for a webinar series.
Yes.
Which will be pre-recorded, and then we'll repost that on SlideShare and on YouTube, and then on our website and their website, and we'll do all the promotions around it as well.
Yeah.
And the reason I was thinking of doing the webinar was twofold. One, it acts as a platform for us to talk about the subscription-based model and what we're working on and what's in the pipeline, and a little bit of a veiled sales pitch. And then two, for our industry friends, they all do amazing work and more people should know about them. And so giving them spotlight to talk about what their products and services and initiatives are as well. Those are the three things that are in development at the time.
Yeah.
What do you think about them?
I like all of that, I think that's really the thing that, it makes you become a celebrity in that way, right? That you become an authority if you're the host of this podcast, because you and you get all of these all the people who you would want to have as authorities or whatever on your show. They're more than happy to come on board. Everybody wants, because it's free, media exposure for them too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna write that one. We've been talking about it as a team. I had a call actually yesterday with this gentleman who does dynamite work on LinkedIn, and I kind of shared with him the idea, and he said, "When? You want to do it right now?"
Right.
No, Eric. Like, let's wait a day. And I reached out to my friends Jason and Tom, who are attorneys, and I was like, "You guys want to do your section?" And they also were like, "Yeah, absolutely." Like next week. No, so this is probably going to be in like April and May. And both, and you can kind of hear the smiles on the other end of the phone, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do this." Like, I'm super. This is why. Surround yourself with smarter people than you.
See, so that's great. So there we go. I think that's going to be a good, I think that would be a nice thing for you, because that way you're also then creating really great content options from that too, because every, in my world, I send 3 emails a week that go out, and they're all from the podcast, right? They're all from the transcripts of something that I've said on the podcast. So I don't have to write these content emails. I've got 3 opportunities right away. Like, I get to send out an announcement for the new episode of the podcast. I get to send out 2 additional emails that are all, derivative of the content from the podcast itself. And every one of those 3 emails that goes out is a carrier for the super signature. So every time we're saying to people, whenever you're ready, here's 4 ways I can help you.
Milk and cookies.
That's what it is, exactly. And, that's part of the thing. That was where I was going with the thing when you're saying rather than trying to shortcut the process or to make it happen faster, is let's just relax and make it happen in higher volume rather than happening faster. And so right away, if you're only sending 1 email a week, there's a big acceleration. There's a big acceleration that's going to happen by sending more frequently. So I think doing that alone, you're going to cut it down from 6 months to 3 months, probably, if that's what it currently is, because those people are going to have more exposure, more impact, more, an accelerated rate of getting to know you better. It's like if you're starting to date someone or get to know someone, if you're only seeing them once a week, it's not going to be the same velocity of getting to know them as if you saw them 3 times a week.
Dean, I think that's a different podcast. We could talk all day long about the dating scene.
There you go. Okay. Well, you are in Man Diego, isn't that what they call it?
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Man Diego. But I don't know. There seems to be a drought where I'm standing.
Oh, that's so funny. But you get the idea. You get what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely. And I have a question on the emails first. So we do LinkedIn, we do digital ads, we've got landing pages, we've got a YouTube advertisement, as well as the emails that I mentioned. Do you think that we spend about $500 a month on Google ads, $500 a month on LinkedIn ads, and we can definitely amp the volume of emails we send to our current prospect list. But do you think it makes sense to add more, marketing gasoline to YouTube and to Google, the display ads, and then to LinkedIn ads as well, so we can expand our audience? What are your thoughts?
Well,
there?
I think what you want to do is the way you're describing it is I want to guide you towards making a different distinction about how you spend your budget, because you're saying you're giving me a dollar amount that you spend on each of these things, as if you're very sort of conscientiously spreading out your thing to do a little bit in all of these things. But what I would prefer to hear you say is that we generate leads from Facebook or you're not on Facebook, from LinkedIn or from Google AdWords for $3 or for $5 or whatever that is. I'd rather get you thinking in the outcome more than the budget. So we want to look for where can you get in front of your audience for the most volume opportunity of generating leads, right? The only thing that I would be spending that money on, it's Profit Activator 2, which is getting people to raise their hand, turning invisible prospects into visible prospects. So I would be counting how many new people are we bringing into our list. You've got 3,500 right now, and you want to measure that we generate this many leads, with our budget, right? So if you say we're willing to spend, $5 per lead or $10 per lead or whatever your happy number is, because you've got a pretty high price range for new clients, right? A new, relatively high ticket. So you don't need to worry about like keeping your lead costs low. That's what I would look at is how can we start new relationships? And then knowing that we're going to gestate those in Profit Activator 3 with our with our weekly email, with our weekly podcast, with our video.
Mm-hmm.
Every week we send 3 pieces of valuable content, all with a super signature that lead people to a scorecard or a workshop or a, whatever it is that's going to be the next step for them. That's what I see for you that would be the biggest impact there, something that, what would you say would be your best opt-in magnet if you count it like that? Like, what would be the thing that you exchange for names and emails, kind of thing, that people are happy to respond for?
We have I think at the moment, 5 different light boxes on different landing pages, and we're kind of testing them right now. So one of them is called Content Marketing Like a Boss, 7 Ways to Maximize Your Content Distribution.
Okay.
Another one is the 100 Points of Marketing Workshop. Another one is how to write case studies in the retirement plan industry, which is a big one because you can't use testimonials in financial services, yet you can use case studies which demonstrate results. The other 3. 2 is social media, the Advisor's Guide to Social Media. It's when to post, how to post, and how to share on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter.
That's great. And so these are all like PDFs that they can download?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect.
And have you, PDFs.
Are you able, do you generate leads with those? Like, do people opt in for them? Or is that up and running yet?
So we just started landing pages about a month ago. So that we had bought a bunch of different URLs thinking about what people would be Googling. And so we purchased those domains, and then we created landing pages around those that link to our infusion sauce as the back end, and then that opts them into our different respective email chains. Then we use the diamond feature of LinkedIn. So depending on whatever it's one of the 3 things that they chose, brand awareness, lead generation, something else, it then sends them content specific to that, to whatever they self-identified as their business need. I
gotcha. Perfect. So I think that would be a good, first step for you, is to really dial in and focus your attention on, how to do that with your Profit Activator 2, how to get people focus on a lead generation strategy for it. And then you're offering your cookies, right? Because you've got your ability then to keep people in the loop, that you're adding value 3 times a week, and you're offering them cookies, and they're gonna jump out.
All right. Well, I've got some tasty, fresh baked chocolate chip cookies and some milk here, so sign them up. I love it.
That's super exciting.
All right. Got pages full of notes, and I'm all motivated to go chat with the team and see how we can implement this immediately into our business, and talk to you again about how much you've helped us. So thanks.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait. Thanks. You've been a delight. This has been great. I loved our talk. It went very fast, but I think you're going to get some good action out of this. I think these things are the right things for you to focus on. So I know you're an action taker, so I can't wait to see what happens.
Thank you again, Dean. This was wonderful. I truly appreciate the podcast and everything that you're doing for entrepreneurs.
Thanks, Rebecca. We'll talk to you soon. And there we have it. That was a fun episode. Rebecca's really excited to get started, and I can't wait to see how everything unfolds for her. Now, for you, let's talk about how you can get going here. I think that it's a very important step to be crystal clear on the state of the union as far as your marketing goes. And the best way to do that is to really go to profitactivatorscore.com. You can try our Profit Activator scorecard and see exactly how the 8 profit activators are either growing or slowing your business right now to give you a good idea of where the big opportunity is for you. So, I think that would be a good start. If you want to continue the conversation here, you can go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com and you can download a copy of the More Cheese Less Whiskers book. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, click on the Be a Guest link and we can hatch some evil schemes for you. So that's it for this week. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.